Hi guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Shadowhunters, episode 111, titled Blood Calls to Blood, which premiered Tuesday, March 22nd, 2016 on Freeform. I know when I post this on YouTube, it's a week later, before 112 airs, so I do apologize for that. Work has me swamped, and because work has me swamped, I'm tired faster, and then I'm coming down to the final weeks of my online course, so it's really piling up at the worst time possible, I have to say. But I'm here to record, so let's get started with the 10-minute clock. Also a reminder, I've read the first three books, so if I give any spoilers for that, I'm warning you now, just in case. But I definitely will be mentioning it. But let's get started. Something new that we learned in this episode. So basically, there are two storylines going on this episode. First one, we have dealing with finding Valentine. So basically, it immediately takes off for that storyline with Clary and Jace in Valentine's headquarters in Chernobyl, and they find who Jace identifies as his father, Michael Whalen. So they take him back to the Chinese restaurant where the werewolves are located or situated as their headquarters. And not only do they deal with the fact that Michael Whalen is actually alive, but they deal with the fact that Jace's health is declining because of the demon venom that got into him when he was in the alternate universe. So we have all that, and then they're trying to find Valentine and the Mortal Cup. Or not Valentine first, and they use the Mortal Cup to lure him out. So then they find out that Valentine is actually posing as Michael Whalen, which is true because then he reveals that Valentine is the father of Clary and Jace. So yeah, in the books they definitely made that reveal at the end of book 1. So they kept true to that in the TV show, and we see all this happening, and we see Jocelyn still comatose, yet she is now back at the Institute. So with Jocelyn in her magical coma, she can't confirm nor deny the fact that Jace is Valentine and her son, or at least Valentine's son. So now Clary and Jace are stuck with the word of a madman that is Valentine, and it's very disturbing news for them because they found out about that after they had like this major makeout session together. So that's what happened with those two. Second storyline deals with Izzy's trial as she's being charged for treason. And we also see Alec enlisting Magnus's help to be Izzy's lawyer as she requested. And so we see Magnus dealing with the trial, adding his own commentary to it. And in the end, he pretty much convinces Lydia of like how this is all ridiculous, which makes her drop the charges. However, the Inquisitor refuses this case to be dropped, and she basically threatens banishment onto Izzy if the Clave doesn't get the Mortal Cup. So eventually, when Clary and Jace return to the Institute after the news that Valentine is both of their fathers, they give the Mortal Cup over so that Izzy could be released. So there's that. On a side note, we see Simon having his position as ambassador to the werewolves being revoked, as now Raphael has made him his new advisor, keeping him close to his side, I guess you can say. In regards to ruins, there's nothing really new that was shown. I think it's a few of the old ones that we've seen before that were reused again, so in that regards. But what was the most shocking moment of the episode? For me, it has to be the fact that Valentine was revealed to be Jace's father as well. Not because it was completely foreign concept to me, because as I've read the books, and that was a bombshell that was dropped in the first book. Spoiler, sorry. But I was surprised. What surprised me was the fact that they were going to go down this route for the TV show. I wasn't expecting it. I thought maybe they might have gone about it a different way. Maybe they're going to get around the fact that for a good part of the first 3 books. I think for like half of it, maybe for those first 3, they truly thought that they were brother and sister. So it makes sense why they would still continue it, because that causes more drama. It definitely did when I was reading the books. But I didn't expect it on a TV show, because it's such a very sensitive topic, or taboo maybe, so it would be interesting to see how that actually plays out in front of us. So I'm excited to see that, because I definitely remember there's this one part in book 2 that I really liked. So spoiler alert, guys, like for sure about the books. But if I get it wrong, it's been a few years since I've read it. But I remember when they were in the Sealy court, and Clary was demanded to kiss the one she desired the most to kiss. Everyone assumed it would be Simon, because apparently they were together at the moment, and this is when she thought that Jace was her brother, but instead she kisses Jace, and that releases her. I don't know, it's just, I remember that one so heavily, because I remember saying, it's going to be Chase, even though they think, at that point, we still think that they're siblings, so it's like, it was very, very wrong at the same time to want them to kiss, because of the fact that they're brother and sister, but at the same time, they were a couple since the beginning who really wanted to be together, and just so happens that they find out that they're related. So it's very controversial for sure. But that's what I remember from it, and I totally went off topic there from most shocking. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be Clary deceiving Valentine with the Mortal Cup. At first, I did not like the scene, because it didn't make sense why Clary would hand over the Mortal Cup if she had suspicions about who Michael was. So that was all fixed and declared my favorite when it was revealed that she had glamored the supposed cup, and she actually had the real cup the whole time, and she just deceived him so that he would reveal himself as Valentine, like she suspected. So that's what I liked about it. The fact that Clary had the upper hand against Valentine, that she was able to pull one over on him. That was fantastic. Another favorite moment for me has to be Simon blackmailing Raphael to help him. I wasn't expecting it to happen, but I really like how it happened, and just the whole mannerism of Simon when it was happening. He knew what he was doing, he knew what to say, he knew what buttons to push in order to get Raphael to see his reasonings. So I definitely like that one for sure. Another favorite moment has to be Magnus and Izzy, especially during her trial. Just Magnus being the counsel, and how he was approaching all the questions, and the ridiculousness of this trial that is against Izzy. And then also I liked Izzy's response, and how she spoke out of term, and how she spoke her true thoughts on how the Shadow World, or Shadowhunter world, treats everything, and how the law is kind of harsh in some regards, or how she didn't agree with it. I really like how she didn't stay quiet. I really like how she voiced her thoughts about the whole thing. I mean, like, what better time if you're being on trial, right? So top 3 peeved moments, like I mentioned before, the initial reaction I had to Clary giving the club to Michael when she had suspicions of him, which was quickly rectified and changed to my favorite moment when it proved that she actually fooled him into believing all that. So there's that. So another peeved moment for me was Jace's fast recovery from a blood transfusion, because, like, even if Shadowhunter or not, I would still think it still takes the same amount of time for a person to get over a blood transfusion, that, especially one that Chase had to deal with. I mean, I've never had a blood transfusion. I know I've had to give blood for a blood test, and yeah, you don't need a heavy healing from it, but, like, I would assume it'd take a lot longer to get over blood transfusion, especially if it's the mixing of bloods and stuff like that. Plus, for Jace, though, he's a Shadowhunter mixing mundane blood, so I'd assume that there might be a slower reaction time, or recovery time, at least, since it's 2 different bloods, although I guess Shadowhunters are half humans as well, or something like that. But, I don't know, it seemed too fast for me, and I didn't really... Is super healing a thing for Shadowhunters, or was that just, like, the situation? It was just faster than I thought it was, or overanalyzing things. I don't know. It's just in the moment, that's what really bugged me about it. So what will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The fact that Valentine dropped the bomb, that he was Jace's father. So there's that. Plus, it also connects with the title of the episode, Blood Calls to Blood, I believe. Yeah, Blood Calls to Blood, which is what he points out in this episode, saying that Clary and Jace are drawn towards each other because of the fact they are from the same blood. That's the excuse, not the fact that they have an attraction towards each other. So random questions quickly. It's just two. But first one is when Clary and Jace, that moment between them after his blood transfusion where it's like, is this real? Yes, it's real. And then they kiss and all that. Is that all they do? Because it either cuts to black or it cuts to commercial. And it has them getting really into the kiss. And then the next time we see them, they're at the table talking to Michael and Luke. And it's still the same day. So I'm hoping, for their sake, that it was just a really heated kiss and nothing of them taking it a step further. What did you guys think of? What did you think about that scene right there? Next question. If Lydia and the Clave have the Mortal Cup, is that the last we'll see of it for a while? I know that's not the last we'll see of it from the books, based off the books, but because the TV show doesn't have to follow the books to the very T, or sometimes they diverge off of certain points and make it their own story. So I'm just wondering if you think for yourself if this is the last time we'll see of the TV Mortal Cup. Let me know in the comments below what you think. So moving on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for episode 112, we see Alex's wedding to Lydia happening. We see Jace having an identity crisis now that he's come to learn that he's Valentine's son. And we see Magnus bringing up what love is, especially to Alex. But we're also seeing many different other relationships being hinted at or being looked at, like Jace and Clary, possibly Simon and Izzy, definitely Malik. Even the episode's called Malik, so there's something like that. Also, before I get into overall predictions, Shadowhunters got renewed for season 2, so we're definitely going to see more of this show. Not sure if that means we have to wait until next January to see it, or if it's going to come back in September, but we're definitely getting a season 2, which is awesome, because I definitely want to see if they're actually going to go book by book, or if it's meant to be books split up by seasons, or just how they're going to do that. It'd definitely be interesting timing-wise, how they figure out season 2, or what the gap between season 1 and season 2 is going to be. So I guess we won't know or have any idea until we see the finale. But moving on to overall predictions, I think that Clary and Jace will struggle with the news of them being brother and sister. It's definitely a tough pill to swallow for sure for them. And it looks like Jace is not really handling it very well. And rightfully so. I mean, he thought he found this good thing with Clary, that she seemed to challenge him and have him question everything. It's kind of like what shows want couples to have them do when they find their other halves. First time he's actually feeling things, when before he was able to compartmentalize, and now he's being told he can't go down that route because it's taboo. So now he's got to deal with the fact that it's like he had an experience, a touch of it, and now it's being ripped away from him. And it's like kind of like if you experience something, you get a taste of it, then you're going to want more, as opposed to if you never had a taste of it, then you never know what you're missing type thing. I don't know. I'm confusing myself, maybe. Moving on, though. We're going to see the group trying to get Jocelyn out of her coma. We're going to see just what it takes for that to happen. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. So sorry for the delay, but please leave a comment below to tell me your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about this episode. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't noticed, I changed my channel banner up top. It's more specific. I had to do a project for my online course, and I incorporated that. So I was really proud of it, and I thought I'd tweak it around a bit so I can use it on the channel's art banner thing. So let me know what you think in the comments below also if you want to. And also if you want more if you want more promos, web clips, sneak peeks, quotes, GIFs, any of that stuff, my Tumblr page, link for those are down below. This episode specifically will have a link, and as well as the link that will give you to the master list of all the Shadowhunter related tags. For that one, just scroll to the very bottom and that's your Shadowhunter page. And did I cover everything? Yep, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching again. Hope you come back next week. It'll probably be in the next few days, hopefully, since it is the 29th right now as I'm recording. But come back and see what I have to say about the wedding episode. Let's see if it happens or not. So that's it for now, guys. This is Mel saying bye-bye.